Hello again, everyone. I hope you're all well on this Wednesday afternoon. Before I started recording this video, I've made some notes, and I'm like, it's difficult to find the words really after learning what happened earlier this afternoon. Not that long ago, actually, just 2-3 hours ago. I was following it, kind of listening to updates as I was driving in my work. And I'm trying to find. You really can't make sense of this, really, at least not right now. I think we have to think about this a while. Although I'm going to give you my initial thoughts on this and what we're dealing with and how we can prepare for it. I also have a terrific passage I'm going to share with you that I believe was the first, as far as when I was thinking of a verse for today after knowing about this story. I'm going to read it, and it's the best one that I can come up with right now, so stay tuned for that. I believe our world is on fire, y'all, and in more ways than one, and it really hit home here in the United States today, didn't it? If you haven't heard already, Charlie Kirk was assassinated by evil earlier today. He was speaking at a college, I can't remember the name of it, in Utah. 31 years old, founder of Turning Point, conservative speaker, very intelligent, very articulate. I've watched many clips, videos of him speaking at these colleges. He would go around the whole country. He went to the University of Georgia, too, as well. And he would just set up shop and have debates and speak. You want to talk about going into a lion's den? He went into college campuses, y'all, unafraid, and would speak. And not just on his, conservative beliefs, but about his faith, about being a Christian, what it means. And from everything that I watched, he was very respectful to whoever he was debating. Things would get testy, sure. But he was speaking. He was not insulting. He was not threatening. He was sharing his thoughts. He was sharing his beliefs. That's all he was doing. And you know what? He was influencing a lot of people, a lot of young people. Think about it for a moment. On college campuses, where the great brainwashing really hits high gear. All cylinders. It starts very young, but once they get to college, y'all, it's hitting on all cylinders. It really is. But, he was a wrench in that, and he influenced a lot of young people, college aged, and professors. I'd see he could be students, it could be grad students, it could be coaches, it could be pastors or religion professors. Those were the best. He really ripped them up. I say ripped them up. I mean, he told it like it was, though. In a loving way, in a Christian loving way, in a way that's, this is what you need to hear. This is the way it is. Anyway, from what I can tell, they have not found the person who did this. Okay. From all accounts, from the way it looks, just a little bit that I've followed it, and I really, I haven't had a chance to follow a lot today. Anyway, I've been working. But it sounds to me like this was done from far away. I did watch the video of it, and I'm going to tell you something, y'all. It's very graphic. It's horrifying. It's terrible. Words at a loss for words describing that. I'm going to tell you, if you haven't seen the clip of it, if things like this upset you, do not watch it. Just don't watch it. I will say, when I watched the clip, I'm like, I don't see how he survives that. I really don't, because the initial reports where they took him to the hospital and they're, he's critical and all this kind of stuff. Even then, I'm like, after watching that video, it'll be a miracle. It will be an absolute miracle if this guy survives that shot, y'all. That's how bad it was. That's how bad it looked, for sure. But from what I can gather, this shot was taken from a good distance. So it makes me believe that could be somebody who was a professional, somebody who really knew what they were doing, maybe. And think about it. Think about the threat he posed to evil by being such an influencer of young people, telling them the truth. We always say we're in such a spiritual battle, but this really illustrates it on another whole level, y'all. Whole other level, for sure. He was a major threat to the big enemy, the biggest enemy that we have, Satan. And then the other thought that I have on this is that this is the kind of squeeze that, I could say a much stronger word, that starts civil wars. It truly is. And you could say, well, people will laugh at that, and people will say, no, dog, it's not going to happen. Ain't no way it's going to happen. It'll never happen here. Oh, it can happen here. I guarantee you it can happen here. Now, it won't look, it'll look different maybe in a lot of ways, the way it's from the first one. But it can absolutely happen here. And if you go by history, things like this happen. There's some kind of event that kind of sparks it, or you have a situation to where a small minority of the population starts it by taking. I'm gonna try to word this. Taking other people out, and then it can really spread like wildfire very quickly, out of control. And what happens is the ones who have been taken out, you got family, you got friends, you got people who cared about these people. Well, they jump in. They take revenge, or they go, and then you go back, and it goes back, and it goes back and forth, and before you know it, you got a mess. You got a war on your hands. That's how these things start. I'm not saying this is going to do it, but it could. This is not the only thing going on. This is horrible. This happened today. Makes me think too of the young Ukrainian lady on a dang bus, transit, Charlotte, North Carolina. We know what happened there. And that evil, POS. So, now, I was watching more of that. And the other horrifying part of that deal too was that the bystanders did nothing. The ones on the video that have seen video of it, right after it happened, even after the guy, the perpetrator, walked away and was not a danger to any of them, they still watched and didn't do anything. The poor young lady is there bleeding out. And some actually took and recorded it on their phone. Can you not try to render aid? At least try to put pressure on the wound? Can we try that? It might not have worked, but can we try it at least? This is what we're seeing. This is what we have. I guarantee you, there are people right now that are celebrating what happened to Charlie Kirk right now. This goes beyond politics. This goes beyond ideology even. It goes beyond that. It's an evil thing. This is evil. against good. That's my take on it. Let me share your thoughts on that. But at least this recording, before I started recording, it didn't sound like they had anybody in custody or anything like that. So I hope they do. Pray they do. We need to be in prayer. We really need to be in prayer. Pray for his family. Absolutely. From what I understand, he's married, got kids, young kids. The man is only 31 years old. Let's keep them in prayer. The world is on fire beyond even the United States, y'all. And you know, you got multiple spots, y'all, that are heating up. You got just to our south in Venezuela. Sounds like the United States military buildup has increased, and they're not just doing that for nothing. That's going to happen. So that can pop off at any moment. That's going to go down. That definitely is. Exactly what it looks like, we don't know yet. The Middle East, all kinds of squeeze happening there. New squeeze, old squeeze, all kind of squeeze going on. Israel is attacking Qatar, which, from what I thought, is a ally of the United States. And we're just like, okay. And then Netanyahu threatened to hit him again. So we have that going on. We have Eastern Europe. Russia fired drones and possibly missiles into Poland territory. And this is not like a stray one just went off course or anything like that. It wasn't like one or two, it was many. Now the damage was not great. And I don't even know if there were any casualties or not, but now we don't know what's they're meeting and talking about Article 4, now Article 5 of the NATO. NATO scrambled fighter jets and destroyed some of the drones and all that. But so we have that is escalating. We need to keep our eyes on that, y'all. A lot of people are asleep on that one, and they don't need to be. We need to keep preparing. Another thing, especially after this Charlotte attack, and I know I'm talking to the choir here, but remind your children, your grown children, your grandchildren, the cell phones, y'all, the cell phones in public. You got to put them down. Put them away, put them down, because it's a distraction. When we're out in public, we're going to have to keep our eyes on stuff, y'all. And I know many of y'all do anyway. I know Miss Dog and I, when we're out and about, or even when I'm out when doing my job, I get out, I dismount from the vehicle quite often, actually. I'm out in the community. My cell phone is put away. I have no distractions. I'm looking around. I see people at gas stations get out, put the gas in there, and while it's filling up, get back in their car with the doors wide open on their cell phones, y'all. It'd be so easy to go up right behind them. Remind them to put their cell phones away. You can drive right down the road here, drive through the University of Georgia at the bus stops, drive through there and watch what's going on. Every one of, just about, I shouldn't say every one of them. Almost every one of them is doing this. And trying to walk around at the same time. Even downtown. No idea what's around them. Or who's around them. Watch your back. Keep your head on a swivel. We're going to need to do that. You need to have protection. And you need to have it on you. Something. I'm serious. Please do. Not exaggerating at all. Share your thoughts. I'm going to go do a passage. That's about all I have to say or can say about all this stuff today, y'all. I just don't know what else to say. I really don't. I really don't. Okay, I'm going to go to the passage. I read this one not long ago, but in light of today's events, I tell you, it's the first thing that came to mind is to go to Ephesians. Go to Ephesians, chapter 6, I believe. Yeah, chapter 6, the armor of God. Chapter 6, starting verse 10. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his might. Put on the full armor of God so that you will be able to stand firm against the schemes of the devil, for our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the powers, against the world forces of this darkness, against spiritual forces of wickedness in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the full armor of God so that you will be able to resist on the evil day, and having done everything, to stand firm. And let's try to be the light in a world of darkness. There's a lot of darkness right now. And keep praying. But watch your back and be ready to defend yourself. And just be alert. Avoid it before we have to do anything else. That's the best thing. All right. That's all I've got. Share your thoughts. Stay in prayer. Stay close to Jesus, our Savior. God bless you. I'll see you soon.